So Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder are set for their third fight after Bronze Bomber exercises rematch. Bob Arum has confirmed plans for third fight to take place in Las Vegas July 18th. So we're only 4 months out. This fight is not really far away. You give it, by the time it's March now, by the time it's April, you start seeing press conferences and a few things going around on the airwaves. Yeah, this fight is not far away at all. So Deontay Wilder is looking to jump back in and regain his WBC title and also pick up the Ring Magazine belt. The question we have is, can Deontay Wilder actually beat Tyson Fury in the rematch? Is this a chase for glory, or is this a chase for a waste of time? That is the question. Is Deontay Wilder wasting his time, or will he knock out Tyson Fury in spectacular fashion and pick up the WBC and Ring Magazine belts? For me, I feel like Deontay Wilder needs to look into much better sparring to better prepare himself for all versions of Tyson Fury. Because for me, I believe Deontay Wilder expected the first fight Tyson Fury. I don't think he expected Tyson Fury to do what he did. I think he was shocked by Tyson Fury's performance. I believe he was shocked by Tyson Fury's disrespect for his right hand. I think he was shocked that Tyson Fury's jab was much stronger than it was in the first fight. I believe he was shocked that Tyson Fury was as strong as he was, and I believe he was shocked that Tyson Fury was as confident as he was, because I've never seen anybody walk towards Deontay Wilder like the way Tyson Fury did, disregarding the power, disrespecting the power. And for me, Deontay Wilder, in order to beat Tyson Fury, which most people in the boxing media, even people who were rating Deontay Wilder before, all of them seem to be writing him off against Tyson Fury in the trilogy, which I think is a mistake, because this is heavyweight boxing. You can't just say it's a given that Tyson Fury is going to beat Deontay Wilder. It's not. This is boxing. Someone's not going to come there to lie down for you. But obviously, because of Tyson Fury's performance in the rematch, it's very in terms of the sway of who people believe would win in this trilogy. Most people are already looking through Deontay Wilder, looking at potential AJ fight, and a lot of people are even looking past Kubrat Pulev on the AJ side. So a lot of people looking past fighters right now. People haven't learned from Andy Ruiz. But for me, in order for Deontay Wilder to beat Tyson Fury, I believe, like, I watched the interview with Kugan Cassius on IFL TV with what's his name, Derek Chisora. One thing I agree with Derek Chisora saying in respect to what Deontay Wilder needs to do, he needs to get big guys in sparring, at least 6 people taller than himself. Let's just put it that way. People taller than Wilder himself, people bigger than Wilder himself. He needs to get those size guys in sparring. And I believe he needs to get them to, obviously they're not Tyson Fury, but I believe he needs to get them to try and replicate certain things that Tyson Fury did in the rematch. They need to watch the tape, get those type of size guys to try and replicate what Tyson Fury did in the first fight, to give Deontay Wilder a feel for what Tyson Fury will most likely do in the rematch, in the trilogy, unless Tyson Fury changes things again. I believe they also need to get Deontay Wilder, obviously this ain't no WWE, but he needs to do a bit of sparring in terms of the clinches and the wrestling on the inside, to get Deontay Wilder prepared for what he's going to probably have to deal with what do you call it? What he's probably going to have to deal with Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury is going to come, obviously I assume he's going to come in at the same weight as he came in before, around that 273 pounds, and the 273 pounds that Tyson Fury weighed, he's probably going to weigh more than that, because once he's eaten and he's drank his water, it's probably going to be like upwards 280 side. So I believe Deontay Wilder needs to, go into sparring in terms of the clinching, sparring in terms of size, dealing with long jabs, dealing with a fighter who's got a longer jab reach than yourself. But as a whole, I just think Deontay Wilder needs to spar for the things that he struggled with in the rematch. The jab, the longer jab, the slipping of his right hand, not being able to land the right hand on a fighter that's closing in on him and not giving him time to extend his jab and set him up. Tyson Fury who closed the distance. He needs to get sparring to replicate things that he struggled with Tyson Fury. And also, Deontay Wilder obviously is becoming like the excuses about his costume and stuff. Maybe in his mind he knows the things that he did wrong, but obviously because of the ego as the bronze bomber, he doesn't really want to come out in public saying, "Oh, I done this wrong and I done that wrong." Maybe in his head he knows what he did wrong, but he's not coming out in public saying it. So I believe Deontay Wilder needs to. I believe he can win the rematch. It's possible for him to win the rematch if he addresses the things that he did wrong in the. I believe he can win the trilogy if he makes adjustments to the things he did wrong in the rematch, which is going to probably be difficult for him in terms of learning new skills, because Deontay Wilder is known for being a one-trick pony. But it's better to try and fail than not try at all, even at this late stage. But I think the best thing that Deontay Wilder's got at hand in order to beat Tyson Fury is to spar for bring in sparring that can replicate the style that Tyson Fury brought in the rematch, because Deontay Wilder definitely struggled with that version of Tyson Fury in terms of the strength, and he seemed shocked. I don't know. Also, Deontay Wilder before the start of the fight, and something looked off with him. I don't know what it was. Maybe it's just me that thinks that. But in terms of his body language and stuff, he just didn't look. He didn't look like the same guy that fought Ortiz and fought Dominic Brazil. His demeanor and everything looked a bit off. Maybe it's the psychology. I just don't know. Only Deontay Wilder will really know that. But for me, I just feel like Deontay Wilder needs to get better sparring in. He needs to get his mindset set on identifying things he did wrong in the rematch and then correcting them. And this is heavyweight boxing. He's always got a shot with that right hand. But obviously, if Tyson Fury doesn't get caught with that right hand, I believe Tyson Fury will probably win the fight on points. And at the same time, we've also seen Tyson Fury is capable of stopping Deontay Wilder. So now no one's talking about Tyson Fury not being able to knock out Deontay Wilder, because he can. He can definitely stop him, even if not knock him down or knock him out by laying him flat on the canvas. He can definitely get the ref to stop the fight, because Kenny Bayless nearly stopped that fight himself, or if not that he did, but the towel got thrown in. So Tyson Fury can push the fight to the point where the towel will get thrown in. Also, will Deontay Wilder's team actually throw in the towel this time if Deontay Wilder's in trouble? Because I don't know if they will after what happened before. Will they throw in the towel if Tyson Fury gets him? I'm not sure if they will this time. So yeah, so let's just wait and see what happens. There's 4 months until the fight itself. A lot of people's going to be making their comments on the airwaves. At the end of the day, we will have to wait until the July 18th, if that's definitely going to be the fixed date for the fight, to see what actually happens. Both men, top fighters in the heavyweight division. Deontay Wilder can always dangerous with his right hand. Tyson Fury, we can't rule Tyson Fury out getting a knockout these days, because we saw what he did to Deontay Wilder in the previous fight. Dangerous fighter Tyson Fury, big guy, long jab, technical, for his size, Tyson Fury's got the best skills I've seen in the heavyweight. His movement and his IQ in the ring. Will Deontay Wilder be able to deal with all that again? Will Deontay Wilder be able to psychologically recover to convince himself he is the bronze bomber that he's been calling himself? That one face, will he be able to become that one face, one name? Has his confidence been damaged? Can Deontay Wilder knock out Tyson Fury and become WBC heavyweight champion again? Pick up the Ring magazine and set up a potential heavyweight clash with Anthony Joshua? Can Tyson Fury outbox Deontay Wilder again, potentially knock him out, and set up a December clash with Anthony Joshua, which Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn are potentially going to sit down and talk about? So drop your comments in the comment section below. What do you think about the trilogy being announced? Do you think Deontay Wilder has a shot at knocking out Tyson Fury? Because I believe if Deontay Wilder wins, it's by knockout. Can Tyson Fury stop Deontay Wilder again? Will it be another point? Will it be a points job, or will it be a knockout job? Was the shot that Tyson Fury landed on Deontay Wilder, was that a lucky shot? Was Deontay Wilder's legs really gone like he said? Because I don't think his legs were gone as far as I'm concerned. I don't know about no costume, bro. Didn't he say he was carrying a 45-pound suit, 45-pound training suit or something like that, like on the field? Because I remember seeing it on BT Sport. He carries this heavy backpack and all that for training, innit? So I don't know if all this leg stuff is really the case. But one thing I can say, in round one, his legs did look a bit off though. So maybe at the end of the day, only Deontay Wilder knows whether what he's saying is true or false. But all will be revealed on July 18th, and we can know whether Deontay Wilder's talking nonsense, whether Tyson Fury was lucky with that, like Anthony Joshua was talking about Andy Ruiz, you hit me with a lucky punch. Was Tyson Fury's punch that knocked off Wilder's equilibrium, was that a lucky punch? Who will come out as champion on the July 18th? Drop your comments in the comment section below. Let me hear from you guys. Cool.